Hi and welcome back to Cheeky Crypto. My name's Chris and it's fantastic to have you back with us for another video, and I hope you are navigating this space safely. So this is a really important video. The usual kind of big influencer that would normally be going, it's an emergency video, and like, if there ever was an emergency video, this would be it, right? For any of you that are not aware and you've still got your crypto on, crypto exchanges, there's so much that I want to cover off with you today, right? And like literally, no, I'm not going to put any chapters or anything in this video. I want you to watch it start to end, right? And I think there's some alpha content that I'm going to produce for you today, and I think that it's worthwhile watching. And I appreciate that my content isn't necessarily everybody's cup of tea, and I am going to thumbnail this up like emergency video and all that sort of stuff, because it really is. And there might be people that scroll on by, and ultimately that is their mistake, because I've been highlighting a lot of this stuff in our Discord for an awful long time now, ahead of time, right? Ahead of pretty much everybody else in the space that at least I've seen. There might be pockets of people where I'm not aware they're talking about it, and perhaps they've talked about it earlier. And it isn't necessarily, about who's first, but I have given people ample opportunity to navigate this space safely. So the first thing that I want to kick off with before I get into any of the actual like alpha content that I'm going to cover off for you today is the fact that I want people that are listening here, right, to jump in our Discord. It's absolutely free. I am not trying to pitch you anything, not trying to sell you anything. It is what I would class as probably the safest social media platform out there. We've got a team dedicated to making sure that scammers are, not in there, bots aren't in there, everybody's human. If you're not active for 30 days, and what I mean by this, if you're not going in and at least looking at stuff, you will be kicked out of the server. It isn't the easiest Discord to enter because of all the security mechanisms that are there, and that is on purpose to make sure that everybody is kept in a safe environment, right? Crypto is finance, and ultimately we've got to keep people safe as best we can. And don't get me wrong, there'll be people that slip through the net, but we normally catch those and bin them off as well, right? So look, first things first, get in the Discord. All this content has been produced, it has been shared there. There's things that I'm going to cover off where there's on-chain analytics that are covered in the Discord, and I really don't want to do a really prolonged video. I kind of want to get through like the bulk of it and keep everybody as engaged as best I can. And I'm not the most engaging person, I appreciate, but just hear me out. I want to help as many people in the crypto space as possible, just like Nick. And that is why I'm here, even though I've said that I'm kind of stepping away from the main channel a little bit. I will do the odd video here and there, and cover Nick when he's not around, but ultimately this stuff is so important that I really want to air this, right? We've got the Cheeky Crypto podcast, I'm on there if you want to check those out each morning, and we've got some big updates on that as well. But look, the other thing that I want to cover off, obviously going into Discord is a huge priority in my opinion. You can hear my phone going off now probably in the background. There is so much going on at the moment. But the first thing, right, is understanding the risks. If you don't understand the risks, we have, sections within our Discord that, I've done write-ups that basically cover off, risk, so you can get a good understanding, and all sorts of different things, stable coin risk, understanding stable coins, because they're all different, right? So check these things out. But one of the things that really stood out to me today in the Discord, which has been like massively active, like more than it ever has been, and I'm thankful for that, and I'm thankful for the amazing community that we've got. And I'd appreciate sharing this video on the social media platforms like Facebook and Twitter and all those, right? And in private WhatsApp groups and stuff like that. If you're part of any crypto groups, please share this video. It's really clear from the Discord that there are pockets of people that really just don't understand what risks they hold, and this isn't going to be a video where I cover those. But one thing that I really want to be clear with people is that exchanges aren't like banks. They aren't regulated, they aren't safe, havens where you can put your money and, you know, they're secure, they're safe, right? It's not like that at all. The safest place you can keep your crypto is self-custody, right? And there's many forms of this. You've got Ledger, Trezor. Now we're like affiliated with Ledger, and I'm in, you know, talks with Trezor. But, you know, Ledger is our choice currently, and there's a link in the description. It is an affiliate link. We do get a kickback from people that use that link. But, you know, that for me is a hardware wallet. It's not attached to the internet, and it's phenomenal, in my opinion. So, you know, with that, just understand that the risks that you've got being on an exchange is, one, the exchange could get hacked. Two, the exchange, you know, could go bankrupt, right? And they will use, or potentially use, depending on their terms and conditions, which most of the terms and conditions state that, in essence, they can use your crypto as collateral. In the way that they've set up these exchanges. So look, you've got third party risk with the exchange, and I think that's really important to be aware of. Now, you know, you've also got the you know, the possibility that, you know, hackers could potentially hack the exchange, right? And you know, we see this time and time again. So, you know, third party risk is a big one, but then you've also got the assets that you hold, right? So right now, Nick and myself are pretty much risk off. What we mean by this is we're not on exchanges. We're self-custody for any crypto that we're continuing to choose to hold. But, you know, Nick has liquidated, you know, some of his cryptocurrency, as detailed in our Discord, because we are fully transparent. We're transparent in many ways: what we buy, what we sell, what we stake, you know, as well as like any, you know, affiliate links that we've got, any channel sponsors, and we don't do paid promotion. So look, this stuff is really, really important. And I want people to understand that, you know, exchanges aren't banks. They're not safe havens. You are not insured for many of them. Some of them will detail that, you know, they've got, you know, I guess like some sort of insurance or pool of money. And some of those exchanges are lying about that fact. I know this firsthand because we had somebody that lost $250,000 on an exchange that will go unnamed right now. And, you know, we contacted the insurance company that was detailed by that said exchange, and they didn't have any business with them. They had business with them, but they no longer have business with them. So just be, you know, mindful that, you know, exchanges will put out misleading information. They will lie to you, which we've seen with like Celsius. You know, we've got all the assets, and what they're saying is, you know, potentially factual, but it isn't accurate and really truthful in the respect that they don't have the liquid assets to be able to sustain, you know, I guess a run on the exchange, for example, like when you see a run on banks. Now, the other thing to also mention when it comes to the exchanges, and I've been on a live stream or a Twitter Spaces with lots of very prominent people in the space. We've been sort of listening along in the Discord, and it's been really, really cool, really interesting. I don't agree with everything that's said, and, you know, that's fine and that's normal and that is acceptable. But what I would say, one of the things that I do agree with that was mentioned on there, and I think Charles Hoskinson was there, you know, 𝗕𝗕 was there from Binance, and I'll come on to that in a moment. Now, why do I highlight this stuff? Now, like the thing that was really telling in there was the fact that exchanges that are lending out, I say lending out, offering like, you know, stake rewards, that crypto has got, that additional crypto has got to come from somewhere. If not, it becomes a liability, like a hole in the balance sheet as such. So, you know, just be aware of this sort of stuff, right? Where you know, it's fine if they've got, and the actual example was, if they've got ADA and, you know, they're offering you to stake ADA, you get 5%, but they're staking ADA themselves for 5%, or, you know, getting slightly more, then that's fine. You know, you don't have that. But if they're saying stake, you know, ADA at 10, you know, we give you 10%, and they stake ADA and they're getting 5, where's that additional 5% coming from? So these are things that we should be mindful of, and we should consider when, you know, looking at some of these exchanges. Now, there are some really strange activities around some of the the exchanges. Now, a few days ago in our Discord, I highlighted several different, exchanges that I think are, seriously like at risk. Now, I'm going to mention those. Now, what I am going to say is that, this is my opinion based on what I see in the market, right? It doesn't necessarily mean that, it's 100% accurate, right? And, we need to be mindful of that. There's an awful lot of misinformation that's being shared at the moment. And because of that, we need to be really, cautious with the words that we put out there, right? And there are pockets of people saying that, there's lots of FUD. And I guess, the stuff that I am talking about here, there is on-chain data that suggests that, activity is unusual. So I'm going to call out the exchanges that I believe have had, unusual activity. And because of the unusual activity, in my opinion, I am staying away from personally. So the first one is 𝗕𝗄, which I got a lot of heat for. 𝗕𝗄 is an exchange that I highlighted a few days back. And just to be clear, I highlighted FTX before ZZ did. I highlighted BlockFi before anybody that I saw on social media, all in our Discord. It is a beautiful place to be. We are literally here working tirelessly to keep you all ahead of the game. So look, I got a lot of heat for 𝗕𝗄, told to go do my research, and really what people are pointing to is a fake audit. Now, FTX auditors, are the same for many of these exchanges, which brings it all into question because they never flagged FTX. So I'm just going to put that out there, and you can read into it as you wish, but I encourage everybody to go back this up with their own research. This is purely my opinion, and for legal reasons, I'm just going to say speculation. But 𝗕𝗄 is one that I'm staying away from. Crypto.com, you're starting to hear more and more about. We've been talking about potential concerns around Bitcoin. What am I talking about? Crypto.com for some time now. And admittedly, they were a channel sponsor of ours back in the bull run. But, we have been very, very vocal for weeks about Crypto.com, right? KuCoin, again, I'm getting a little bit aggro over my thoughts on KuCoin. It's just an opinion. Go research it. I validated my reasoning in the Discord. Go check it out. And then you got 𝗕𝗢𝗠𝗠𝗘𝗥𝗦. I don't know how you pronounce it. 𝗕𝗢𝗠𝗠𝗘𝗥𝗦. I'm terrible. Look, what do I know? I'm just a crypto YouTuber. And I'm going to come on to this one in a moment as well with like my rationale behind it. They've recently had an audit. We're going to go into that as well. OKX is another one, and then Bitfinex is another one that I want to highlight. We'll come on to stablecoins perhaps a little bit later on. Now, lots of people are asking me about all sorts of other exchanges. Now, I'm only going to call out the exchanges that I have seen on-chain data for that concerns me. As for the likes of Bybit and other exchanges, I have no comment. I haven't seen anything, so my assumptions are that it's all kosher. But you need to understand the risks. You need to be happy with the risks that you hold. I can't give you any financial advice. I can only give you my opinion. I'm not a financial advisor. You should treat this purely as speculation and educational purposes only, and go away and back up everything with your own research or engage with your own personal financial advisor. I can't talk. I've been up hours. So yeah, apologies on that. But let's get down to the desktop. That's probably the longest intro I've ever done on YouTube. I apologize if that bored you to death, but continue to listen because you don't want to miss this shit. Okay, so I'm going to start with something positive before I get into the stuff, and that is that Cardano's dominance, strong price action here. I guess with everything that's going on, it needs to be said. It needs to be highlighted. Cardano has very little exposure to all of this BS happening in the crypto space. And why is that? Why is that, I hear you ask? Well, it's great forward planning. It's a strong team. It's great tech. And it's mainly because it's actually in the hands and the most decentralized project, in my opinion, you know, VCs and the people that are here to you know, basically shit on retail are not really heavily involved in Cardano, right? It's really retail. Moving on, and we've got crypto.com accidentally sent 400 million in Ethereum to the wrong address. CEO calls concerns FUD. Now, 𝗕𝗓 turned up on this Twitter Spaces. Crypto.com's Chris, the CEO, was invited, never showed up. And one thing that, you know, I would say is that is very, very telling. If you're willing to show up, you know, and face the music, face what is being articulated by Chris as FUD directly, then, you know, hats off to you. You know, that speaks volumes. And you know, the fact that Chris isn't willing to do that is really interesting. Now, one thing to highlight is that crypto.com did accidentally send the wrong amount, well, the wrong amount, wrong amount of crypto to a lady previously, which, you know, obviously caught the headlines. It was a monstrous amount of money. So look, for me, there's going to be a run on crypto.com's exchange purely because this is really concerning. There should have and probably potentially is some safeguards that are actually, you know, put in place so stuff like this doesn't happen. So the first thing that I'm going to say is there's going to be pockets of people out there that say, you know, well, you know, it's happened before. It probably is an accident. Well, the safeguard should have been put in place before when that lady was sent the wrong amount of crypto. That should have been resolved already. This shouldn't be a, you know, reoccurrence. This demonstrates that these people should probably not be in charge of anybody's cryptocurrency or financial instrument, in my opinion. This highlights to me that, you know, this seems really sus. You know, there should have been processes, there should have been multiple sign-offs, all that sort of stuff, right? Now, it's either sus and, you know, there's a reason that they're doing this. Maybe they're sending crypto to other partnered exchanges to, you know, help them, you know, demonstrate that they've got, you know, the assets on hand if something goes wrong. And we'll come on to my thoughts around all that sort of stuff. I think that's far-fetched. I think that they're struggling and they're worried and they're about to get found out just like FTX did. That's kind of my opinion. They've overspent and, you know, they offer all these yields and stuff like that. I'm wondering whether it's really sustainable. And we've seen the fact that the card program was, and this is their words, unsustainable, and they had to make the changes. Is everything else sustainable is my question. My other question is, would you and should you trust crypto.com with your crypto or any, you know, of your financial, like, you know, money, crypto, all that, anything related to finance, when they can make a mistake like this, sending crypto to the completely wrong address? I'll leave that with you. You can let me know in the comments below. I think it's really important to think about things logically. And I question anybody that hasn't been listening to our words of wisdom around everything that was about to unfold that still has crypto on exchanges. Moving on, and 𝗕𝗘𝗪, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, asset transparency report reveals 3.5 billion in crypto holdings. Hold up a minute. So what I want to talk about with this particular exchange, and this exchange is one of those exchanges that is on my list that I am concerned about, is the fact that actually there was some really strange activity, because this transparency report happened and then lots of crypto was removed from wallet 34. So go check that out. All the details are in the Discord. Go and review the on-chain metrics. I will let you be the judge. You know, ultimately, I guess this is, again, one that I think is going to have real issues. Moving on, and we got the total crypto market drops to 850 billion as data suggests further downside. Nick's covered this already in the respect that we expect further downside to happen. And yeah, look, we need to be all over this. I have highlighted a few shorts. Whether they become successful or not is yet to be seen. Our TA team has taken a look at those, and they will make the decisions as to whether we short the market on any of those. Right, moving on to the final two articles. And all of this, in my opinion, and this was highlighted on the Twitter Spaces, but not in this amount of detail. And I have covered this before, because why Cheeky Crypto is ahead of the game, and we're trying to keep you safe. And I think Ran from Crypto Banter actually covered this on the Twitter Spaces, that, all sorts of like top level individuals were on there. Brad Garlinghouse, ZZ, the CEO of 𝗕𝗘𝗪𝗠𝗠𝗘𝗥𝗧, the underwriter, I guess, or the company behind BUSD, which of all the stable coins is the go-to one, in my opinion. If I was going to be in a stable coin, that would be the only one I'm in. And that would be if I was happy with the risk of having a stable coin, which at the moment I'm not really comfortable with. So look, what I would say is we're likely to see a real push for regulation. FTX is going to be the catalyst for this, and this is not necessarily going to be great, right? We've got people that don't understand the space. I mean, damn, I think we've got people that don't even understand how to open a door, how to tie their shoelaces, making decisions in some of these places. I mean, it's just my opinion, but Biden can barely string a sentence together. Now, what I would say is, when people talk about the bottom coming in, and this is why I've covered this before, it wasn't really around FTX. It was really around the fact that the bottom wasn't in, and we were getting called all sorts of different things, being told that the bottom was back in June. Now I will add, in May I said the bottom was going to be June. June came, bottom came in, and I said it don't feel right, it doesn't feel painful enough. That wasn't the bottom. I was wrong. I got called out for it left, right, and centre. So was Nick. And this is the stuff that we're going over, because this is where we think the actual bottom is going to be. The bottom of the crypto market is going to be when these governments decide to sell the amount of crypto that they hold. Now, the US government, at the time of writing this particular article, owned $4.4 billion in Bitcoin and other crypto assets, and they could dump it any time, right? So that's the first article. The second one is the fact that China also owns $6 billion worth of Bitcoin, Ethereum, and other cryptocurrencies. And I'm telling you now, and again, it's just my opinion, the bottom isn't in yet. We're starting to feel like, what a bear market should feel like. And I think FTX has sped all of this up, but it wasn't the actual reason why the bottom come in. The bottom is going to come in because, the government sell the crypto that they own. Now, what I am going to say here is that, many exchanges are probably going to be illiquid and out of business, and those assets are going to be auctioned off. And ultimately, there's going to be an awful lot of crypto that's going to be available on the free market. At the moment, I would say my personal preference is to be in fear, risk off. I keep saying this, risk off, and wait for that reversal, wait for the bottom to come in. That time isn't now. There's going to be huge downside, in my opinion, still to come. And, this is what bear markets are all about. It's about the passion. It's about the corruption. It's about being engaged in crypto. Jump in our Discord, keep up to date, make sure you're the right side of things, with honest people that are here to have your back. Everything's timestamped in our Discord. Go have a look at the timestamps of when I've been highlighting stuff and Nick's been highlighting stuff. It's really telling. We're very, very transparent. We want you to be well, because our brand is everything to us, and our brand will be shared so much more if we save you money, we make you money, and everybody's successful. Let's build generational level wealth together. Let's make sure that we build a community that is engaging, it's inclusive, supportive of one another, learning from each other's mistakes, so others new in the space don't need to make the same mistakes that we've made. And I think if we do that, we get crypto adoption. And I think that that inclusiveness inclusiveness. I can't get my words out. Apologies. Is so important. And I will also add that but for me, it's been an amazing reaction from our community, you know, because there's many people that made lots and lots of money out of everything that's happened recently. But there are pockets of people that are new to our Discord, new to our community, that have lost an awful lot of money. And if there's anybody that is really suffering out there, one thing that I would say is you're not alone. There are people in our Discord that are willing to listen and probably been there, right? So, you know, make sure that you talk. It's really important. Make sure that you don't do anything stupid, because there will be people out there that do really stupid things. Know this. You're not alone. People are there, and you will, you will survive, and you will flourish, and you will, make up what you've lost. Make sure that you're on the right side of things moving forward, and immerse yourself in a fantastic community. I really do passionately believe this stuff that I'm saying, and there will be people that do stuff that is really, really stupid, and just think about others. If you are feeling that way, I think this stuff is really important. Men's mental health is massively under-recognized, in my opinion, and we should do more. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed today's video. I hope for some of you it was useful. Hopefully you guys are on the right side of things, and if you're not, just know that people are here and you can talk to people. Don't bottle it up and be on your own. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, mash up that like button, subscribe if you haven't subscribed already, tapping that bell, selecting all those notifications so you never miss a video, and I will catch you in the next one. Take care.